Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on episode 12. So, this is your psychic Christine, and I realized that in previous episodes I didn't tell you a whole lot about myself. So, I'm going to get into that a little bit. First of all, I have been working as a psychic serving people for a little bit over 30 years. It's a long time, right? I have been, and there was an article about me in Time Magazine, New York Post, The Good Day Show. I have also worked in New York City, here in Philadelphia, Los Angeles, California, Tokyo, Japan, Zurich, Switzerland, and Munich, Germany. And there's more locations than that, but I don't want to be on here talking about that for the whole thing. So, next year in 2019, I'm planning to travel to different cities in the United States, and I do look forward to seeing you. And I'm going to put something on my website that's going to let everyone know what city and when, so you know when I'm going to come to your city. So this podcast is going to talk about meditation. A lot of people have struggle with being able to go into meditation for themselves. A lot of people don't understand it and what exactly is supposed to be achieved in meditation. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and then at the end of that topic, I'm going to talk about my services and how you can be able to reach me. So meditation. Meditation is everywhere, okay? It's in Asian countries. A lot of it has come over to the United States. And it's even talked about in the Bible. And a lot of religions encourage people to meditate. Now, being able to go into meditation is being able to kind of master your own mind, to be able to silence the mind. Now, why would you want to do that, right? Why would you want to quiet down your mind or silence it completely? The human mind is it's all over the place. Some Asian philosophy refer to it as a monkey mind, jumping from one subject to another, easily offended, angered, and sometimes just happy. Like you see things, depending on your mood, you have a different perspective as to what's happening or what people are saying to you. It all depends on what mood you're in. So what that means is you're putting your own spin on the situation depending on your mood or what your mind is telling you. And we can be very clouded by feelings and moods and intrusive thoughts. So being able to silence the mind is not something that's going to happen overnight. Okay, it takes time and lots of practice to be able to achieve that. Okay, so there's a quote, and it goes like this: the mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. Now, what that means is you are, a human being with a soul, okay? So you're supposed to tell your mind what you want it to do. You present a goal to your mind, and basically your mind or your brain needs to take that order and help you to achieve that. But when your brain is ordering you around, and like Asian philosophy speaks and says it's like a monkey mind, it takes you all over the place. It can definitely put you in a headspin. Like I said, jumping from one thing to another, stress, what does this mean? What does that mean? And taking you, like I said, on a tailspin. Even when you're really in a good mood and you're really happy, sometimes, that isn't in fact true. It's just your mood and you're not taking things so seriously. But when you go into meditation, and this is how you do it, you sit in a comfortable position or a lotus position, which a lot of people like to do. You close your eyes and you know, it's quiet around you, and you can burn a candle or burn some incense, and then you start working on quieting the mind. Now, when you're in that position and you're trying to do that, some thoughts are going to pop up, okay? And you're going to just, you know, listen to what it said, whatever it is, and you're going to kind of push it out. So it's going to come and go like that for a little bit until you can be able to ultimately achieve the goal of silencing the mind. Now, what happens once you quiet down your mind or silence it is you are going to be able to see yourself, others, or situations as they are. Okay? And what that means is you're going to be able to see the truth about yourself, others, or situations. You'll be able to put yourself in a position where you kind of have like a bird's eye perspective of what's happening. Okay? And then it's going to put you in a position to handle things better. And once you're able to see things from a bird's eye perspective, then you're going to be able to deal with the situation or the person or yourself with more compassion. Okay? You're going to be able to be more in tune with your own spirituality by knowing what the truth is. You're going to basically become more enlightened as a result and be able to positively or on a more positive level deal with situations. Okay, it's going to make you stronger, and it's going to enhance your spirituality, because like I said earlier, you know, we have a tendency of seeing people, ourselves, or situations and putting our own spin on it depending on how we feel. Okay, now just because we're feeling a certain way, whatever that may be, positive or negative, that doesn't necessarily always mean that you, the people, or the situation is coming from an accurate perspective on your part. But by silencing the mind, you'll be able to be more accurate and clear on what you are looking at or feeling or seeing. Okay? Moods come and go. All right? And like I said, as human beings, we have a tendency of putting our own spin on stuff. And that's something that we don't want to do. We want to see every situation as it is. So, because it takes such a long time to be able to master, and I definitely encourage you to do meditation on your own and learn how to do it, but it takes a long time to kind of hone this skill, lots of practice. But there are people that can actually do this for you, okay? And I actually do provide this service for people as well. Now, what I do for people is when they're facing a problem, a situation that's been going on for years. In most cases, people kind of face the same kind of problem for years and years and years, and do everything that they can do humanly possible on a logical level. They kind of run the gamut of doing, like I said, everything that they could do to try to solve it. And sometimes it just doesn't work, and they keep running into the same, brick wall or dead end, whatever you want to call it. So that's a time that you should definitely seek some help, spiritual help. Now, through meditation and regression, when I do this service for people, I find out what the source of this negative energy is, why it's there, how it got there, and what needs to be done to clear it. Now, this can get a little complicated because sometimes it comes from the deeper part of the past in your life, or it could even be going as far back as into a past life. And this is where having psychic ability is going to be very helpful. And I also believe that everybody has psychic ability, or at least a certain amount of psychic ability. I suggest that people have a reading done with me before they jump right into going into meditation. And this is something that I don't do alone. You're going to have to follow some instructions to connect our energies, and we actually work on this together. And in the process, I would also tell you how to meditate if need be, meaning if you want to. It's up to you. The price depends on the person and what the situation is. Some meditations can be very brief and to the point. Some are more extensive depending on what's going on. So, getting back to, I hope that helped to answer some questions as to what meditation is and how to go about it, meaning just the beginning, just to give you an idea of how it works. So my services are, I do palm readings, and the palm reading is 40, and that's a general basic reading. It's going to tell you about yourself, what your abilities are, and approximately 2 years into the future. That's a good reading to have for self-examination and to see if you're on the right track in achieving your target goals in life, and that's 40. The full life reading is 90. That's a combination of psychic and tarot, and that goes into your past, present, 3 to 5 years into the future, and answers questions at the end if you have any. All of my readings are available via phone, or of course in person and email. I think I said earlier on, I still do readings for people all over the world. And having a reading done by phone is not any better or worse than it is to have a reading done in person. It's the same. A lot of people think that having a reading done on the phone is maybe less than doing it in person, but that isn't true. That's just another example of what it means to put your own spin on things. But of course, whatever you're comfortable with. If you're long distance, you can give me a call. My number is 201-953-0658. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Also, everything that I do is described in my website, psychicreadingexpert.com. Make sure that you subscribe to my newsletter. And you can just text to 22828 and text the word Psychic 10 to 22828. Psychic, PSYCHIC 10 to 22828. All of that information is available on my website as well. Also have a look at my book called How to Make It Work by Christine Wallace, available on Kindle and Amazon. That's a book where I give relationship advice. That applies to, the general problems that I see that people are going through in love. So whatever, information I can give away without seeing you face to face is what's on this podcast, what's on my blog, and what's in my book. But of course, it's always better to have a reading, but the book is going to be very helpful to you. I even recommend the book for people that I do readings for as well, because, it's good to have, the book on hand so that you can always go back to it as a reference, right? And it gives a lot of guidance and advice, and it helps you to be able to see things from the other person, your partner's perspective as well. So I hope that this helped to enlighten you a little bit, and I wish all of you the best of luck. Like I said, feel free to give me a call to have a reading done or email me. Please go to my website, psychicreadingexpert.com, which gives a lot of information about me, pricing, and everything. So I wish you all a very happy Mother's Day weekend, and my next podcast will be next Sunday. Enjoy your evening.